Hello everyone, with Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Monday evening, July 22, 2024. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you guys like the video. I'd really appreciate it if you guys get this video up to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak of Atlantic hurricane season. That's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Leave a comment down below letting me know what that's been like in your recently. Also feel free to ask any other related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Alright, so let us take a look at the US National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather outlook. We can see that they have nothing highlighted over the next 7 days, and we see that this is as of their latest update from 7:22 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is actually 6:22 p.m. Jamaica time, so this came out about 30 minutes ago. If we take a look at their Atlantic weather discussion, we can see that they still have the tropical waves highlighted, one across the central tropical Atlantic and another one across the western Caribbean. And if we take a look at the surface map, we can see these being represented, the tropical wave right here across the western Caribbean and the other tropical wave across the main development region, equidistance between the Caribbean and Africa right there. You can also see numerous troughs, one right here to the northeast of South America, another one right here to the northeast of the Caribbean, and another one right here across Florida and the northern Bahamas. We can also see the ridge of high pressure that we know is responsible for sending all of these systems from east to west in the flow of that easterly trade wind, not to mention the amount of dust coming off of the Sahara Desert as well. If we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic as the sun is going down, we can see the clouds associated with the tropical wave doing a number on Central America as we speak, the clouds associated with the trough affecting portions of northern Bahamas and Florida, the clouds associated with the other trough to the northeast of the Caribbean, the clouds associated with the other trough to the northeast of South America, and we can also see the clouds associated with the tropical wave equidistant from Africa and the Caribbean. And we can see numerous clouds squashed to the south of the main development region, all of which is associated with the intertropical convergent zone, where the air from the northern hemisphere meets the air from the southern hemisphere, and it caused a lot of clouds to bubble up and form rain. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean today later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Monday, July 22, 2024. It was stated that sections of some northeastern parishes would have received some morning rainfall, then sections of some southern parishes would have received some afternoon rainfall. And just for reference, we know northern parishes we're talking about Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland. Eastern parishes, we're talking about Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew. So more than likely, the northeastern parishes would have been somewhere right here along St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland. While our southern parishes, we're talking about Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, St. Andrew, and St. Thomas. And although no posts were made on our pages, we definitely saw what took place. We definitely had a flow from the east northeast this morning that brought some overcast skies and some slight isolated shower activity to sections of some northern parishes. We even had some followers on our TikTok page confirming some slight morning rainfall in St. Mary and Portland. And we definitely saw a buildup of clouds across sections of St. Catherine, western St. Catherine, that is spilling into sections of Clarendon at one point, even sections of eastern Westmoreland, sections of northwestern St. Elizabeth might have gotten on a brief isolated shower or two, but that was basically it. We didn't see much in the way of cloud cover or big rainfall, thunderstorm activity at all across the island today. It was mostly sunny, partly cloudy in some spots than anything else. And if we take a look at See Jamaica's YouTube channel showing the Kingston Harbor, we can definitely see that even by 12:44 p.m. today, it was definitely sunny across the corporate area. But we definitely had that Saharan dust in our neck of the wood. But we're going to be getting in on a break from the Saharan dust tomorrow. By the way, if you'd like to see more live streams like this, just visit See Jamaica's YouTube channel. If you don't know by now, we have a partnership with that channel. And they also have live streams of the corporate era, Kingston, Crossroads, Halfway Tree, even the Bogwalk Guard. So go over there if you have the time. We can also see on the infrared satellite images when the cloud definitely did something across sections of western St. Catherine and eastern Clarendon right there. We definitely had a brief shower, and we definitely saw that on the Doppler radar images at the time, but nothing was posted throughout the day today more than some videos from the Weather Channel. If we take a look at the latest Cuban Doppler radar images, we can actually see some rainfall coming into sections of Portland as we speak, as represented by the greens and yellows. Keep in mind that this Doppler radar image is as of 7:50 p.m. Jamaica time, so it just came out a good 11 minutes ago. So 6:50 p.m. Jamaica time, 7:50 p.m. Cuban time, 6:50 p.m. Jamaica time is what I should have said. As a matter of fact, we're reloading the images because I'm sure that the 8 p.m. image is out. The 7 p.m. Jamaica time image should be out. We'll see if it actually loads in time. Either way, you can also see some strands of showers right there between Haiti and Jamaica as well. And there we have it, the latest Doppler radar images as of 8 p.m. right there, and it still shows that we have some isolated showers affecting sections of Portland as we speak. We can actually see the clouds associated with those coming into sections of the northeast right now. If we take a look at See Jamaica's YouTube channel showing what's happening across the city view of Kingston, sun is definitely setting. We can definitely see a lot of hazy conditions still plaguing the island. We see that milky whitish color right there in the horizon, but it's definitely clear skies than anything else. Not much in the way of cloud cover or rainfall. If we take a look at the temperatures right now, we can see we have 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 4 a.m. on Tuesday, temperature should dip down to about 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow, we're pleased to announce that we're going to be getting on more gray colors than anything else. We see a slight dot of yellow right there across maybe northern or central Jamaica right there. So it should be anywhere from average to at least 1 degree Celsius above normal temperatures. That's expected for Jamaica's temperature 18Z on Tuesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Tuesday. And we know the normal temperatures for the month of July across Jamaica are about 91 degrees Fahrenheit. When that's calculated to Celsius, that's about 32.7 degrees Celsius. So you should be receiving anywhere from 32 to 33 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Tuesday. As it relates to the Saharan dust forecast for 2 p.m. on Tuesday, we can see Jamaica right here, and we should be getting in on a break. We see more blues than anything else, so we won't be getting in on that very hazy sky or some person's asthma or sinusitis being triggered at all. It should return, however, on Wednesday as this starts to lift northward, but we see that it is more so in the way of those lighter shades of browns, and the lighter shades of browns are reaching as far as the southern and eastern United States, the Gulf of Mexico, Cuba, the Cayman Islands, Central America, the Southern Caribbean, the Eastern Caribbean. But what we don't like to see is this darker shade of brown. This is the vigorous plume of dust that we know can cause hazy skies and trigger respiratory illnesses in some persons, and we know all of this is definitely pushing from east to west in the easterly trade winds, courtesy of the ridge of high pressure that's situated across the northern Atlantic. So it's eventually going to make it to the Western Caribbean and Jamaica. We just hope that it dwindles down to more of these lighter shades of browns than anything else by that time. Taking a look at the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can see that majority of the Caribbean should be getting on those lighter shades of blues to darker shades of blues that we can see by the key on the bottom right, that represents anywhere from 0.5 meter wave height to at least 1.5 meter wave height, maybe coming close to 2, especially where we see these purples, and we see the purples especially to the south of Jamaica, far south of Jamaica that is, and that's because the winds are strongest right there. near Colombia, south of Haiti, southeast of Jamaica, where we see these yellows. That's where we have the 25 knot winds, and we see the rest of the Atlantic, well, the rest of the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean getting in on those duller greens and brighter shades of greens that we know represent anywhere from maybe 5 to 10 to up to 20 knot winds. And we see the general direction across the Caribbean having the winds coming in from the east, all courtesy of this ridge of high pressure right here. If you take a closer look at the wind forecast across Jamaica, you can definitely see that the winds are coming in from the east. So if we're gonna be getting some rainfall tomorrow, the rain could come in from the east and affect sections of St. Thomas and Portland, maybe even spilling into sections of St. Mary, St. Anne. Hopefully some of this, if we get rainfall, spills into sections of Kingston, St. Andrew. But we see that all of the air should be piling up across sections of some central and especially western parishes in Jamaica. So we can't rule out some diurnal convection, some daytime heating, rainfall across especially western Jamaica. So maybe sections of Hanover, Westmoreland, maybe sections of St. James, St. Elizabeth might get in on some afternoon rainfall, and all of those low-level clouds become possibly medium-level rain clouds, if not cumulonimbus thunderstorm clouds. And if we actually take a look at the actual rainfall forecast, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are valid for 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, which is actually 3 a.m. Jamaica time. And what do we see? We see that both maps are in consensus that there should be some amount of rainfall to the north of the island, maybe some dots of blues to the south and east of the island. Some of this rainfall even making it across sections of St. Thomas and Portland at that time. So we see the consensus, we see the agreement on what both models are showing. Skipping ahead to about 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 9 a.m. Jamaica time, we see the Euro a bit more robust, showing more of the blues. They represent rainfall across sections of central and eastern Jamaica. GFS making more sense with more of the rainfall across eastern Jamaica. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's not a situation like what we had today. Yesterday it was forecast that we would see, yes, some blues, but it was more so on the lighter shades of blues, which explains that we had little to no rainfall today, more clouds than anything else. But we can see the signal a bit higher, showing more darker shades of blues, which increases the chances of us actually having some amount of isolated shower activity tomorrow. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe some isolated morning showers for eastern Jamaica. And then by afternoon now, clearly the Euro is still a bit more robust, showing rainfall across eastern, central and western parishes in Jamaica. GFS making more sense, still having the isolated shower activity across sections of St. Thomas and Portland, but most of the rainfall should be across western Jamaica, Hanover, Westmoreland, northern St. Elizabeth, St. James, western Trelawney. And look at the time, this is valid for 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time. And we do see the consensus, even although the Euro is a bit crazy with central Jamaica getting in on the rainfall. So we're working with what both of them are showing. So get ready for some nice rainfall if you live out west or in the far east. And we can see that both accumulated precipitation forecast maps are in consensus that there's going to be some amount of rainfall somewhere in Jamaica today. GFS making more sense. By the way, keep in mind that both of these maps from the Euro and the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Tuesday. Not saying that's going to be raining from now all the way up until then, but these are the areas that are going to be picking up the most in the way for rainfall. Clearly the GFS making more sense, showing more of the rainfall across eastern Jamaica in the greens, up to at least 0.2 of an inch of rainfall, as we can see by the key on the right. Western Jamaica as well, up to 0.17 or 1/8 of an inch of rainfall. I'm more inclined to believe what the GFS is showing than the Euro. We saw what the Euro was showing on the other maps, the 1 hour totals, so it makes sense that it is showing something like this. But clearly eastern and western Jamaica should be getting in on the brunt of the rainfall, as we can see with these yellows that represent more rainfall than anything else. Either way, we'll take it. We're in the month of July. In both Montego Bay and Kingston, we usually receive less rainfall during this month. Clearly, the Kingston bar graph right here at the top, we usually receive up to 50 millimeters of rainfall. Montego Bay's bar graph at the bottom, we usually receive up to 3.1 inches of rainfall during this month. By the way, you can visit weatherandclimate.com to find out about your specific parish. And if you don't know how the calculation for millimeters to inches works, you can do the math yourself. 1 inch of rainfall is about 25 millimeters of rainfall. 2 inches of rainfall is about 50 millimeters of rainfall. So you can do the math clearly. Both cities are in consensus that October is our wettest month, and that should be the case for most parishes. Alright, so that is it for the forecast across Jamaica. Let us focus our attention on the rest of the Caribbean. So we don't see much happening right now. We see the leftover clouds associated with the trough that was plaguing portions of the northeastern Caribbean yesterday, and some of these clouds could definitely make it as far as Jamaica tomorrow, which explains the rainfall that's forecasted for eastern Jamaica. Section of Haiti and the Dominican Republic, definitely, well, more so the Dominican Republic than Haiti, definitely getting in on some rainfall today. Puerto Rico as well. You can see the clouds associated with the trough still doing a number on Florida, the northern Bahamas. Sections of Central America getting in on some thunderstorms as we speak, anywhere from Panama westward. Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, Belize, the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. Even section of northern South America getting in on some amount of overcast skies and isolated showers. And we see all the clouds associated with the intertropical convergence zone right there. If we take a look at the Doppler radar images of the northeastern Caribbean, we can see exactly what took place today. So if we put these Doppler radar images into motion from about 1:20 p.m. Jamaica time, we can see that sections of Puerto Rico definitely had some amount of rainfall right there across sections of central and western areas, sections of the eastern portion of the Dominican Republic, and we can also see some rainfall in and around the US and British Virgin Islands, say Kitts and Nevis, maybe Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, St. Martin, Guadeloupe, Dominica. Some of these hit or miss. Hopefully they are more hit than miss. Hopefully some persons got some well needed rainfall and cool down. As of 7:10 p.m. Central Daylight Time, we can see this image that just came out 2 minutes ago. There's still a lot more rainfall to come. We see those greens right there, some yellows embedded in them that represent some amount of light to moderate rainfall. As relates to the Barbados radar, the latest images show some rainfall right there coming into section of the island, some rainfall to the east of there as well, some rainfall to the south and north of Barbados, pushing from east to west as we can see. So maybe some isolated shores for Martinique, St. Lucia tonight, maybe some more rainfall for Tobago, Grenada. They're already experiencing that as we speak. Not seeing much happening across Trinidad right now, but they might have gotten in on some rainfall earlier today, as we can see those rain bands on the northwestern coastline. Taking a look at the wider view of Doppler radar images, we can see that rainfall associated with the trough, that section of Florida and the northern Bahamas, definitely experiencing as we speak. Sections of the Yucatan Peninsula, northern Guatemala, Honduras getting in on some rainfall too. You can also see some rainfall passing to the north of the ABC Islands, some rainfall right there across sections of northern Venezuela as well. As it relates to the rainfall forecast now, from both the Euro and the GFS models, keep in mind that both of these maps are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Tuesday. We can definitely see that there's some consensus in the fact that there's going to be some amount of rainfall across sections of Florida. If it's not already happening right now, it's definitely going to be happening before 10 p.m. on Tuesday. So section of the Bahamas, section of Central and Eastern Cuba, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. We see more isolated shores than anything else for the Leeward Islands. We see more rainfall anywhere from Guadeloupe southward, so Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We see sections of Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago getting on more rainfall. Section of Guyana, Suriname, not much rainfall in store for French Guyana, clearly on both maps. But Venezuela, definitely where we see these darker reds up to 1 inch or more of rainfall, even some purples in there. Sections of Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica. Look at all of that rainfall expected for Costa Rica, even although we have some differences on both the Euro and the GFS models. There's still a lot more rainfall to come there. Section of Nicaragua, section of El Salvador, Guatemala, and even coastal areas of Belize right there. But we don't see much in the way of rainfall for the Cayman Islands at all. We see more grays than anything else that represents little to no rainfall. We know that when both maps from the Euro and the GFS models are in consensus like this, the chances of it actually happening are much higher. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.